welcome back to our channel, that is Chemical Engineering. Myself Dr. Kirti Zare. Today I am going to introduce to you about the elliptical form of the equations which are used into the transport phenomena subject. Again, it can be also utilized into the fluid flow, steady state conditions, in process dynamic and the control, in the process modeling and the simulation. It can be also utilized into the heat conduction equations. It is also used into the electrochemical reaction, different type of the models, engineering, and also the research field, right? So generally, which can be stated as a form of the some boundary conditions is going to restrict it for a particularly place or for a particularly model, right? So now they are giving the statement like that because this is the generally problem with respect to the heat transfer. A steel plate of 750 multiplied by the 750 mm has two adjacent sides maintained at 100 degrees centigrade, while the other sides are maintained at 0 degree centigrade. What will be the steady state temperature, right? That is most important, that you are supposed to find out the steady state temperature at the interior points, assuming a grid size is 750 mm, right? So now they had maintained some temperature, specific temperature with the adjacent side, but you have to calculate that how much the steady state temperature is going to achieving at this particularly wall or the this interior, particularly wall or this interior. Generally, they are also given the what should be the thickness of this particularly interior, or the this what should be the thickness of this particularly grade. So they have mentioned as the 250 mm, right? So in my earlier video of the mass transfer, I had explained you about that what is the exactly mass transfer, what are the different means of the mass transfer, and we suppose that you are already solved the numericals of the diffusion. The same concept are also utilized into the diffusion formation equation as well, right? So let us start this particularly problem. So firstly, here you must be noted here that is the four temperature T1, T2, T3 and the T4, right? Now you have to maintain a T1 as at the center point, and you have to make the something curve like that, and you have to take the average of that, right? So that is the T1 is nothing but the 1 by 4, right? Now what are the different temperature is going to belong with the T1? So you have to note it over here. So that become the firstly T4, again the T2, again the 0 and the 100 degree centigrade, right? Because they are mentioned the temperature 0 and the 100 degree centigrade. Similarly manner, you must be noted for the T4. Again, you have to take the average of that, right? So T4, how can you consider the T4? Again, you are supposed to consider the T2 at the center point, and you are supposed to make the profile something like that, right? Now you have to write this all form of the temperature with respect to the T2. So that is nothing but the T1 plus T3 plus 0 plus the 0 degree centigrade, right? In the similarly, we are supposed to calculate for the T3 which is kept at the center point. So you are again supposed to draw the profile something like that, which is going to indicate by the black color here, right? Now we are supposed to calculate the T3, that is nothing but 1 by 4 for that is only for the average out. So T3 we are supposed to consider as the T4 100 degree centigrade plus again 0 degree centigrade plus the T2, right? Now, in the similarly manner, you are supposed to write for the T4 That is, again, you are supposed to consider this at the middle side, the T4 at the center point, and you have to make the profile something like that, right? So this blue color is indicates that the for temperature over there. So T4 is going to calculate it as 1 by 4 into again 100 degree centigrade plus again 100 degree centigrade again the T3 and the T1, right? Rename this as a 4 equation, that is 1, 2, 3 and 4. So these are the 4 equation is there, and you are supposed to find out the 4 coordinator over there, that is nothing T1, T2, T3 and the T4. So 4 equation is there, 4 unknown is there. So either you can solve by the quadratic form of the equations, or either you can also solve by the Gauss eliminations method, right? Or either you can take the one equation, like if you are going to calculate the T1, so you have to write the similarly equation second or maybe the third equation in the form of the T1, and you are supposed to simplify it and calculate it, right? So here you are getting the equation something like that. From the first you are getting the, that is the 4T1, that is nothing equal to the T4 plus T2 plus the 100 degree centigrade, right? Now again T2 in the simplified form, that is the 4T2 is equal to the T1 plus T3, right? And similarly manner the 4T3, that is nothing but the T4 plus 100 degree plus the T2, right? And again T4 equation, that is the T, that is the 4T4 is equal to the 200 plus T3 plus the T1. So either you can solve by the any means of this equations, that is the 4 equations, 4 unknowns is there, right? If you are going to calculate this whole equation, so you are getting the answer like that, that T1 is equal to the 50 degrees and T2 is equal to the 25 degrees or T3 is equal to the 50 degrees centigrade and T4 is equal to the 75 degrees centigrade, right? So these are all the 4 sets of the equations of the temperature that you have to determine over here. So you can also solve this by simply using the calculator in the making in the form of the matrix, or in my previous video I have also uploaded that how can you solve this quadratic form of the equations or in terms of the matrix. So you can also refer that all different type of the videos. If you understand this particularly form of the method, so please like and subscribe my channel. You can also write your any comments in the comment box. Thank you so much for the watching.